I guess I'll just start from the beginning. Today, I was at Starbucks and I was sitting next to someone, and her friend came in, and she had beautiful energy. You could tell that she had just been working on herself, that she was showing up genuinely as herself and like wanting to see her friend. All she said was, "Hi, friend," but it was her tone of voice. It was just her aura, everything about her was just really beautiful. And it made me cry a little bit, made me tear up a little bit, just the way she was talking out loud. So authentically genuine to herself and the work that she had been doing before she even started talking. I knew that she had been through a rough time. She'd had some healing and she's come into herself, which as she started going on with her friend, she was talking about how it was a hard year for her last year. And that's really all I listened to because I didn't want to eavesdrop too much. Anyway, when I had gotten up, I wanted to tell her this because I kept thinking in my head over and over, wow, you have beautiful energy. But that's kind of an awkward thing to say to a stranger, and it's awkward for me because I'm an introvert and I struggle with like awkwardness in interpersonal communication. So I probably wouldn't have said anything if when I was leaving she hadn't looked up at me and said like, "Hi," and just acknowledged me for being there. And since she did, I had the opening, I felt she was open to receive and I was open to give, which was just like that compliment, like, "Hey, you have beautiful energy." I don't know what that did for her, but I know what it did for me. And this is a lesson that I've been learning lately, is that I am giving away parts of myself. I've been like really selfish in the past with what I tell people or sharing how I'm feeling or sharing my authentic self that's not a mask. And I think that comes with people pleasing. So if I have to talk to someone about some conflict or I need to confront someone or I'm feeling a type of way, like it's not always compliments. It's, just my truth. A lot of time I didn't share that. And then I was misunderstood. I always struggled with people not really knowing the real me. I always struggled with like showing up in the world as a meek person, and I didn't feel meek on the inside. My internal world, I felt, was really bold and genuine and blunt, but my outside persona, my mask is like that. I people please. I am meek. I don't say things. I'm shy. And so I'm always having this internal and external conflict. And I have been praying, like, please just help me not help me just be who I am and express myself to people, because I know the damage that it does to me when I'm not living out loud, I guess you could call it. I've had nervous system issues. I've had, in the past 6 to 8 months, I've gone through so much, some of the hardest times in my life. And I've had to, sorry, I'm getting emotional, I've had to learn how to protect myself and show up for myself. I was passing out randomly. I was feeling faint randomly. I was having physical symptoms, weird things like that. I think was just anxiety manifesting outside of my body, and I felt weird on the inside. My brain was foggy. I couldn't think clearly. I had clogged up ears. I had the most random symptoms ever. I got all the tests and everything done, and I developed like so much health anxiety. I legitimately thought I was dying. And I just knew that my body needed so much healing from all of the times that I never was able to just live out loud. And that might sound silly, but I found it more important to be whoever I needed to be for someone else. And I found it more important that I was less of myself or not myself at all so people would feel comfortable. So there wasn't conflict, like most of my experiences, I'm avoiding conflict, I'm avoiding awkwardness, I'm avoiding confrontation or making people. Okay, my camera died. So if this, and I had to turn my car back on, so there might be a little bit of background noise, so I'm sorry about that, but it's one or the other. Dead camera or a little bit of noise. So I was avoiding just being myself, and I didn't know that. I thought it was better, and I would have better relationships with people, and things would be less awkward, and things would go smoothly if I just didn't express myself fully. Like I just always kind of looked down on myself for acting out of anger or acting out of just an emotion, just being a highly expressive person. Not that I wasn't highly emotional, because I'm definitely emotional and people know I'm emotional, but highly expressive, no. So until, you get to a breaking point and things just come out. Oh, I'm crying again. So I thought that I was doing best by everyone. I thought that was a selfless act not to give things away. And I learned a little thing about communication recently. Another story is I've been working with someone who tests every boundary of my personality I've ever had. We come from two different cultures, and they are highly communicative, and I am highly not. Let's just say that. And so if I don't communicate my boundaries, they step all over me. I feel like this is a common occurrence between people at work or wherever. And so I've been learning the value of saying things out loud. Yes, she's been making me mad. She's been doing things that I've had to confront her about, because if I don't and let it go on, it will continue to go on and I won't be able to perform my best at work. It directly affects me. So getting out of my comfort zone, we had a situation where she just did something. We're in sales. We had a customer. She said something to the customer. I could have lost myself based on what she said. So I had to come up to her and say something about it. And I was mad. I was angry. I was like, oh my God, talking to my coworkers, going around and just being like, I can't believe she did this, which is how I usually operate. I talk to other people, I hold the anger in myself, and I just let it fester. And then, or I might try to tell myself, let it go, she is who she is. Talking to her or confronting her or acting out in your anger is not going to do anything but make you look bad. And so that's how I started to operate. But then I was like, no, I need to say something and just see how that goes. Let's just try something different. Let's do something a little uncomfortable. So I go up to her. I say, hey, that wasn't cool, essentially. And, we need to be better about this. This is something that I don't appreciate. I don't know if you thought that I would take it a certain way. This is the way I took it. And I was mad when I told her. I wasn't yelling and screaming, but I was mad, and she could see that. And I just gave it to her. I gave her the anger, the feelings, because that was my reaction to what she did to me. And anger management is a whole different thing, but I think anger seclusion, anger concealment is something I struggle with. So telling myself that it's okay to give something like that away to someone else has changed me, because immediately I saw the value and I was like, wow, I don't need to go around talking to other people about this. I don't need to replay the situation in my head over and over. I don't need to keep telling myself to forget it and be mad, hold a grudge against her for the rest of my life. I can just give this reaction away. And actually, this is more giving of me to tell her, be like, hey, this is where I stand, versus causing drama in the workplace, making the situation more than it has to be, creating tension between us, because really I create that tension, right? She did something to make me mad, and my responsibility now is to go and tell her that and get that out, not to internalize that and create tension between us. Yes, I would be the one creating tension. Do you see the difference? And so with giving it away, the issue was resolved. We worked it out, and I really didn't think about it. I didn't think much about it after that. And I was like, okay, this is the best, right? So if I think something good about someone, but it's not easy or comfortable to tell them. It's not easy to give things away, to give yourself away, to express yourself. It's honestly, it takes courage, and it takes being a little selfless to actually do that. And I've always been wrong about that. I've thought that highly expressive people, or just expressive people, were the selfish ones because they're just acting out of their emotions all the time. But I kind of feel like the way I was operating was a little bit more selfish, because no one had the privilege of knowing my internal world. All they knew was my mask, and the real me is much better than my mask. And what does that do for them? Like, that gives them no chance for accountability if they messed up. That gives them no chance to, get a pat on the back, get words of encouragement. Like the lady at Starbucks today, like, maybe she needed to hear that she had beautiful energy. Maybe she's really been working on it. That is a gift. I had another situation where I had to tell a friend I didn't agree with her actions, and morally, like, I expect more out of her in a friend. Not that I was like trying to be on my high pedestal or anything, but that was my real thoughts without my mask. My mask would just be like, oh, go on doing what you're doing, I'll turn a blind eye, or I won't hold you accountable. And I'm sorry, I'm being kind of generalized about these things. I obviously don't want to share all the personal details of people in my life, but she's just doing something generally wrong that I don't agree with, and I know she doesn't agree with, and I had to tell her that. And it was a hard conversation, because it was pretty much like, if you keep going down this path, like, I'm always going to feel like I don't want to be around you. I'm going to have no choice but to distance myself. And I'm giving you this hard conversation, so maybe, like, it's something you need to hear. And because I care more about our relationship than I do just like slowly distancing myself and giving you no support system. Like, I'm giving you where I stand. And that's a gift. People need pressure to change. People need truth. They need encouragement. They need accountability. All of these things are all the same kind of gifts. Just giving nice things to people, or just giving them what they want to hear, or just giving them a small part of yourself that's not really true, that I've been doing for my entire life, does nothing for them or for you. And you will continue to suffer because you've given them a version that you don't know, and you are, by being in a relationship where you're operating under a mask and you're not giving your real self, it tears you apart from yourself. And tearing you apart from yourself, you will have a breaking point. I had a breaking point. Every single person will have a breaking point by not prioritizing their true authenticity. It is so much more than taking care of yourself, doing self-care, meditating and journaling and self-work. I have done that. I have read every book. I have prayed every prayer. I have journaled. I have written. I have talked out loud. I have done every self-work, worked out, done yoga. every self-work practice you can think of, I have done that to try and embody myself, and it does not work if you aren't willing to let the world see you. Give it away. Be uncomfortable. These like tiny uncomfortable moments of like, oh, I'm really fighting against this. I'm really fighting against confronting this person. I'm fighting against saying this to this person. I don't want to ruin this. I don't want to ruin that. Well, then you're fighting yourself. And like, a person can only take so many hits in the ring. You keep hitting yourself, you're gonna fall. So, I know I did, and I just want to encourage you to be more, like, don't be scared. Don't be scared to say what you've been needing to say. I feel like someone needs to say something that they're regretting deep down, they feel deep down in their belly, and if you need to say it, just say it. And God, it will be a relief, instant relief off your shoulders, even if it's hard, because you are living true to you. You are living in your path and your light, and that will, once that facade fades away, it's like you're a bright, shiny gem ready to receive from the world. That lady who's been doing the healing in Starbucks, I know that she has gone through all of this work. I know that she has beautiful energy, and she's a bright, shiny gem right now because she dropped the facade. And like, that can be me, and that can be you. That has been me, and I've like fell off of it. So if you really feel like this is something you relate to, if you feel like people call you meek, or they call you shy, or they say, oh, you don't talk much, or you think you're super awkward, or you don't like to connect with people because of the way you make them feel, you really need to look into yourself and be like, is there something I'm not saying? Or the next time you have a big emotion, I know for me, when I have a big emotion, it's over and over in my head, over and over. If I need to say something to someone, or I need to give something away, it's like right there at the front of my head is, you have beautiful energy, you have beautiful energy, you have beautiful energy. Or I don't like that you did this. I don't like that you did this. I don't like that you did this. Why would you do this? Like, it's over and over. So it's obviously something that needs to get out of your system. Just let it go. I don't know what else to say. I feel like this is over, so I'm going to go ahead and end this. But thank you for listening. If you like videos like this, I guess let me know. I might post this on YouTube. I might post it on podcasts. Just write in the comments and let me know what you like, what you don't like. I like it, so I'm going to keep recording it and posting it, and I'll see you next time.